Hi, I'm Gwen. As I become a Bat Mitzvah, I'm honored to carry the name Zelda and Rivala and to share the stories of the two survivors whose paths were intertwined and whose lives were changed by courage and by love. They survived the Holocaust because ordinary people made extraordinary choices when so many others chose hatred or silence. Teachers, farmers, teenagers, mothers, and even a soldier risked everything to save them. Those non-Jews, known as the righteous among the nations, showed courage in the face of danger to do the right thing. The courageous compassion of those who saved Zelda and Rivala guides me as I take on my own Jewish responsibility in the world. Today, I will be sharing their stories. Zelda Gillis was born in Kretinga, Lithuania. She was known to be small but mighty. She and her sister Chaya survived Stutthof, and they were starving on a winter death march. It was there that she was saved by a German soldier who defied orders and told them to run and hide in a distant barn in the night. A day later, he secretly brought them a lump of cheese and water, helping save their lives and risking his own. After the war, Zelda searched for this righteous soldier. He had returned from forced labor in Siberia, and she helped him gain employment in Munich at the undergarment factory where she was working. Even after everything she endured, she chose gratitude and humanity. Despite losing her parents and her first husband, Zelda didn't just survive. She rebuilt and was incredibly resilient. She began a new life in Glasgow, Scotland, married Julian Hammer, and raised her son Harold. Her life became a story of not just survival, but of courage and rebuilding. Zelda and my great-grandmother Ruth had a very close friendship and a special bond. They wrote letters and spoke across the ocean from Long Beach, New York to Glasgow, Scotland for years. Family meant everything to Zelda. Her son Harold was the center of her world, and when he became an eye surgeon, she was so proud. Zelda didn't care about material things. She cared about kindness. My grandmother and my great-aunt Lisa still remember when Zelda and her sister Chaya visited their home. Their friendship and their love. I carry that in my name. The second name I carry is Rivala. She was only 7 when the story starts in the Kovno Ghetto. A little girl with big blue eyes and incredible bravery. A first cousin of my great-grandmother Ruth Simon Musket. Rivala was a niece of the poet Zelda Bialik. A geography professor, Antanas Bendorius, righteous among the nations, would risk his life and his family's and change her story. The story starts in Memel, my great-grandmother's family's town in Lithuania, a town that was wiped out. My great-great-grandfather's Louis Simon's family owned a large department store in the center of the town and the largest knitting factory in Lithuania. Simon's Mechanic-Strickerei. Antonina, the wife of Antanas, was a good friend of the Simon family, especially Jacob Simon, who would fix the Bendorius' sewing machine whenever it broke. A simple act of neighborly kindness that would later become a lifeline.
With my mother's knitting business, if any of the machines weren't misfunctioning, the statement was, Simon will send his man over. So that was obviously my father knew these people named Siemens. They owned a factory. They had all these technicians working there.
In 1943, when rumors spread of the Kinderaktion, Frida Simon feared for both of her daughters, Rivala and her younger daughter, Naftalia. Frida's brother, Jacob Simon, turned to someone they trusted, Antanas Bendorius.
Važiavo vidury nakties, jam paskambino gimnazijos sargas. Tai tėtis važiavo vidury nakties tų mergaičių paimti. Jas įkišo į maišą, daktaras darė jam adatas.
With incredible bravery, Antanas entered the Kovno Ghetto to rescue the girls. Rivala was sedated so she wouldn't cry, wrapped gently in a potato sack so she wouldn't be seen, and carried through a hole in the wall under the cover of the night.
We were told to sleep, but there was something going on, and next morning there was a little girl in the house. She didn't speak Lithuanian, but she was my age. She was delicate. The sofa was moved away from the wall, and we were told that if anybody came to the door, Anybody came to the door, she would have to hide behind the sofa. You're absolutely not allowed to go outside. And so we played.
Antanas, his wife Antonina, and their daughters risked everything because they believed every child deserved the chance to live. This choice could have meant a death sentence for him and his family. I had the honor of meeting Jura, the daughter of Antanas, who was a little girl in the home where Rivala first hid that night. Jura remembered everything. Rivala stayed in their apartment. They could not go outside. They played quietly.
I'm quite sure it was in 1943. And then one night, he was taking her to his parents' farm, where also his sister lived with her family. He took Riva because it was very, very unsafe for her to be in Kaunas. A very large hat was placed on her head to hide her face. Mother was very nervous, not only because she feared the father could be caught and she would never see him again, but also that if they caught him, that they might come after her and the children, and she didn't know whether she should go into hiding that night.
When Antanas had to bring her to the countryside for her safety, Rivala hid with Antanas's parents and his sister's family, who embraced her as their own for 3 years. They called her Lidu, and she pretended to be a Russian orphan who couldn't speak. She learned to help with chores, gather linen, harvest rye, and even play quietly with the children. The village understood the truth, and they protected her. Their courage formed a circle around her. She learned Lithuanian. Inna, the older girl she lived with, even learned Yiddish poems so Rivala would feel less alone. In a world of danger, they treated her as family and created a small pocket of childhood for her. That courage doesn't fade. It passes down through families.
Vokiškai paprašyti, kiek kainuoja saldainis. O ji varšė bijojo, suprato, kad jau čia gali būti blogai pas vokietį prašyti. Bet labai saldainio norėjo, tai jį įsidrasino ir kaip šiandien atsimenu, kaip jį paklausė, atsimenu ir šiandien jau kiek metų praėjo, wie viel kostet ein Bonbon? Va jį tai paklausė to vokiečio, tas tik pasižiūrėjo, tai pervedė kelis kartus ją akimi ir jau mes nusigandom, sakom, dar tai jau viskas bus. Jo niekas iš jos čia nesišaipė, kad ir neaiškiai šnekėjo lietuviškai, akcentas buvo toks žydiškas. Ir niekas nedrįso to vaiko išduoti. Kartu miegojam su ja, kartu, paskui kaip mokykloje.
Inna said she was a very smart little girl, was very good in math. She had learned Lithuanian very quickly, was proficient. Inna mentioned this one incident where a neighbor asked Riva, "Do you have visitors at night?" And Riva said, "What would I know? I sleep at night."
Jura's family risked their lives for a child who wasn't theirs. They chose humanity even when it was terrifying. They did it out of the goodness of their heart. Jura's family still has the small gold brooch that Rivala's uncle gave them so many years ago as an enduring keepsake.
Eventually, Chaya, Zelda, my mother Golda, and another relative called Rivka made their way across Europe to Munich.
Through our research, we discovered something extraordinary, unknown to us for many decades. We learned that Zelda and her sister Chaya went to find Rivala after surviving the camps, bound together not only by survival, but by love and responsibility to one another after the war. She located Rivala and brought her from Lithuania to Munich, and eventually Rivala sailed to America. My great-grandmother Ruth and her parents Louis and Fanny Simon welcomed her with love in their home in New Jersey, but she was very sick and passed away at 12 years old. Rivala has survived so much, and everyone who knew her remembered her sweetness, her bravery, intelligence, and her smile. She never got a chance to grow up. I feel especially connected on this day. Last year, I visited Rivala's grave in Connecticut. While searching for Rivala's burial place, we found a photograph of her grave online. The photo led us to a post by Andras Visberis. We wrote to him, and what became a search became a connection. Strangers became friends. In 2019, Andras applied to recognize the bravery of his grandfather, Antanas Bendorius. He was awarded the Lifesavers Cross in Lithuania. Through that application process, our families found each other. What's amazing is that this family had been living right here in New York the whole time. When we met Andrus and later his mother Jura, it felt like reuniting branches of a story that began generations ago in Memo, Lithuania. They welcomed us with warmth, just as their family once welcomed Rivala. Their courage inspires me. Their kindness inspires me. Because of them, I volunteered with Duro, visiting older adults and offering connection and friendship. Kindness travels, moving from one person to the next. Rivala never got to become a Bat Mitzvah. Today, I carry her name with pride, with love, and with hope.
I saw Jonathan showed a picture of his bar mitzvah outfit from like a while ago.
1971.
Yeah, 1971, and it was like a red tuxedo, and I thought it was very cool because I don't think people would do it anymore. So like I think that like different generations have different perspectives.
Giving a statement because I feel it is right that what my father did should be recognized.